Imagine a world where the very species introduced to new territories by humans to solve problems could, in some cases, actually help prevent the extinction of those same species. It's a strange paradox that's beginning to unfold as we take a closer look at the complex relationship between non-native species and conservation efforts. Humans have long been responsible for transporting species across the globe, whether intentionally or accidentally. The results have been far-reaching, and not always in the way we might expect. In fact, non-native species are now one of the leading causes of global species decline, contributing to around 60% of the species that have gone extinct in recent decades. Mammals like the Norway rat, the mouflon, and the mink are now part of the European landscape, yet many of these species face their own threats in their natural habitats. This paradox has been the focus of a recent study led by biologists from the University of Vienna and La Sapienza University in Rome. They found something that might surprise you. Many non-native species, which have established populations in new lands, are actually endangered in their original native ranges. In other words, some of the species that humans have introduced to other parts of the world to thrive may in fact be doing better than they would be if left in their native environments. This isn't just an interesting observation. It raises a tough question for conservationists. Should we focus on protecting these species outside their native range, or should we continue to try to save them where they came from? We were interested in finding out how many of these species are threatened even in their native range, said Lisa Tedeschi from La Sapienza University and the University of Vienna, the lead author of this study. We were very surprised by this high number, as we assumed that invasive species are also common in their area of origin. Let's break it down. Right now, there are about 230 non-native mammal species that have been introduced globally. Of these, 36 are at risk in their home environments. That's a big number. In fact, it was much higher than researchers expected. They assumed invasive species would often be doing well in their native habitats, but that's not the case for these species. One key example is the crested macaque, native to Sulawesi in Indonesia. The macaque's population has plummeted by 85% since 1978 due to habitat destruction. However, outside of its native range, it has found stable populations on other islands in Indonesia. This is just one example of how non-native introductions can actually give some species a fighting chance they wouldn't otherwise have. Then there's the wild rabbit, which is endangered in Europe, but thrives in places like Australia, where its introduced populations are booming. Many of the species facing this dilemma come from tropical Asia, where deforestation and overhunting have devastated their numbers. So, what does this mean for conservation? If we include these non-native populations in global extinction risk assessments, it could actually improve the outlook for these species. The study found that for about 22% of species they analyzed, including non-native occurrences in risk evaluations, would reduce their global extinction risk. But, and this is a big but, there are risks to this approach too. Focusing too much on non-native populations might divert attention from the protection of the species' original habitats. Plus, non-native species can have negative effects on other local ecosystems, creating competition or spreading diseases. In the end, the debate over how to balance protecting non-native populations while safeguarding native habitats is a delicate one. But this study gives us a crucial piece of the puzzle. Sometimes the solution to saving a species might lie outside its native range. As we continue to navigate the complexities of biodiversity and conservation in an increasingly globalized world, this paradox highlights the need for careful, thoughtful strategies. The fate of many species, both native and non-native, may depend on it. Don't stop here. Find out more. Visit the links in the description below for more in-depth information on the stories presented in this video. Or if you are a part of a wildlife organization doing something interesting right now, let us know in the comments.